Hey y'all, exactly what is old school trucking? Yeah, I want to talk about old school trucking, whatever that means. Looks like it's going to rain on me here if I don't get done pretty soon. So let's talk about this. Old school trucking, or back in my day, or back in the day. What did it mean for old school trucking? Well, if you look at today's social media and the trucking groups, if you were to believe what the old school truckers talk about what old school trucking is, you would think that it's driving 100 miles an hour in the left lane, telling everybody to get out of my way, telling me in my 68 mile an hour truck, if you can't go the speed limit, stay out of the left lane. You're not allowed in the left lane. Now, I don't remember it being that way back in the day, because I've been doing this about 40 years and I'm doing LTL for 20 something, but I've had fast trucks, I've had slow trucks, I had slower trucks than this. This one's 68. I've had 57 mile an hour trucks. I've had 75 mile an hour trucks. Now, back when I was getting started 20, 30, 40 years ago, it wasn't like it is today. Another way you'll see what old school trucking is these days is it's taking a video or a picture of a guy at a truck stop who's having a hard time backing in and might hit somebody, or a picture of a guy that nosed into a parking spot probably because he didn't want his hood taken off, and saying that if you can't back into a parking spot at a truck stop, you shouldn't be driving. That's what you would think old school driving, truck driving is these days. But I don't remember that at all. I remember back in the day where if you saw a guy having a hard time backing in, you might assume that he's new. And there wasn't all these truck driving schools and trainers, and these guys they did it the old school way, hard way. They got somebody to teach them the basics, and then they went out there and did it. That's how you had to do it. That's how I did it. You had to learn as you go. But you didn't make fun of them and take a picture and post it on something. There wasn't anything to post it on back then. But what you did is you got your butt out of your truck and you walked over and you just went back to the back of the trailer and helped him back in. You know, guys today say that, well, I tried to do that and the guy cussed me out. Well, you're going to have guys like that maybe even back then, but you make the effort, you go and help him back in so he doesn't hit somebody. Give him some pointers maybe if he's new, or if maybe he's just having a hard time seeing and it's night. Help him get back in. And I remember back in the day, I used to nose in when I could because worrying about trucks taking my hood off, and I had a hood at the time, sorta. Or there were two reefer trucks sitting there, so I nosed in so I didn't hear them. I tried to stay away from the cow trucks altogether. That didn't matter. But you got to make sure that you got a way to back out. I tried to pull in, and be able to back straight out in the morning. Usually by the time I got up, nobody was there anyway. And on the passing, going 100 miles an hour in the left lane. Now, back in my day, as they say, in the old school days, if you had a faster truck and you come up on a couple trucks and there was a guy in the right lane and he was behind a truck that was pretty slow and you could see that he needed it out there, you actually slowed down in that left lane and blinked him over so he could get around that slower truck. So you actually had to slow down a little bit, let him in, let him get back over, then you could go. Not today. I mean, you better not pull out in front of anybody. Now, when I'm going along and I'm in the right lane and I'm coming up on a truck that's a little bit slower than me, I'll make sure there's nobody back there too close. And if I think I got time and a reasonable amount of time I can get around them, I get around them. A lot of times they'll catch up to me and be right behind me and I'm still getting around them. But let me tell you something. The speed limit sign says speed limit. Doesn't say minimum speed. Now, I'm not going to cut you off and make you slam on your brakes behind me, but I'm still allowed to pass somebody who's slower than me. I don't like it any more than you do. I'm in just as much of a hurry to get where I need to be as you are, and I am at a disadvantage because I have to go slower. So yeah, I'm gonna take every opportunity I can to get down the road a little quicker, past somebody who's slower than me. Now, if you get in this situation and you're being passed, the old school way would be to back off the cruise, slow down 10, 20 seconds, let that guy get around you. That's the old school way to do it. That's the way to be considerate and to let guys get around you. Instead of just holding on, you got your cruise on, you got your headphones in, listening to your audio book, not paying attention. You don't have a CB radio on, you only have a CB radio maybe. Now, pay attention. I've got caught daydreaming too. Pay attention if someone's coming around you. Let them get around. Slow down for 10 seconds, let them get around. That way you're not holding up a whole bunch of other trucks. Anyway, that's my thoughts on some things on that were old school trucking back in the day compared to today. So, go down in the description. Check out all my links. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like this video over here, and we'll see you later.